I made the mistake one time of going onto a blog about recovery, and I wrote something, you know, AA is great, and my 12-step program is great, and my gracious, the negative energy that was spewed on that blog, I had to just get off of it. There are so many people who are anti-AA. There are so many people that say it's, you know, it's religious. I don't see it as religious. I see it as very spiritual. That's my experience. The God in AA to me is a higher power. It is whatever you want it to be. The acronyms, you know, God, G-O-D, good orderly direction. Group of drunks. You know, very cliche is your understanding could be a doorknob if that's the only thing that's going to keep you sober today. Yeah. But there are other, there's now an AA for atheists. And there's a chapter in our book, in the big book, that's, you know, for agnostics and atheists. So it doesn't have to be about God and religion. It can be whatever gets you through. It can be anything. What I see and what I feel is that the concern, the breaking of the stigma, the sharing the stories, the changing the faces, you know, although I had great potential to be wearing a trench coat and holding a bottle in a paper bag under a bridge if I had continued the life that I was living. I'm not saying that that wouldn't happen. But to change the face from just that to the preschool mom, you know, the preacher. What I think, at least for me and what I see, is that what we want to do is we just want there to be more awareness and more caring. And so that teachers and our ministry and our police officers and our judges and our state's attorneys will be able to look at people in the recovering community, or look at the people that came in on those drug charges. Look at the kid who's, you know, that you found, this is the 5th time you found a joint in his locker. You know, let's embrace him and let's try to explain to those people the celebration of recovery, that we don't have to whisper these words anymore. It's learning how to live. It's learning how to keep the faith. I don't remember the name of the movie, it's quite popular, but there's a line in it that says, it'll all be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. And I love that. I have changed my attitude. I've changed my words and I've changed my attitude. I've become a more positive person. I know that everything is going to be okay. I've learned about myself through the journey of the 12 steps. I've learned, I try not to use the word excuse. I try to use the word reason. There are reasons why I am the way I am. There are things that I need to do, and I need to learn how to accept my part in situations, how to stop blaming. You know, I've taken words out of my vocabulary. In our house, the dirty words are stupid, hate, and perfect. You know, really. I mean, those are the dirty words in our house. We try to eliminate those. Through my journey, I've tried to become a better me. And I've tried to fill the hole that I always had with positive energy and happiness and good friends and doing the next right thing. And a whole lot of humor. My God, that was one thing that, I always had a pretty good sense of humor, but once I started this journey, I thought, this is ridiculous, some of the things that I did. But I also have to be very careful that I don't take it into self-deprecation. You know, I joke every day with my kids that my superpower or my super person name is the paver, because I pave the road to hell with good intentions every day. You know, I really try every day. And if I screw up, I screw up. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Okay, first of all, it goes back to celebration. It's a celebration of recovery. It is putting different faces and names with the recovering community. As we were saying before, you know, whether you're a preschool mom or you are the guy under the bridge. So it helps to expand people's views of who can be a drug addict or an alcoholic. people say to me, well, you're an alcoholic, you weren't a drug addict. And I said, well, no, because I really couldn't afford the drugs at the time. I could run a tab at the bar. And also, well, why didn't you do the harder stuff or whatever if you dabbled in these other things? No one ever offered it to me. You know, I could have gone to different places. I just didn't. There was no moral compass that was keeping me from shooting up. Yeah. So I think for me it's a greater understanding of who people are in recovery. You know, that it's an equal opportunity disease. It is not political. It is doesn't matter how wealthy you are and how poor you are. It doesn't discriminate. Yeah. That's important. Yeah. It's important for the people who are in recovery because, as I said before, recovery changed my life, and this movie changed my recovery. In that, it took the voice that I felt that I already had and joined it with so many more. So the celebration that I always had and the change your words, change your attitudes, now I have more of those people who feel the same way and who are so vocal about it. So it goes back to that you are not alone anymore, and I'm not. And I completely respect the people who really prefer to keep their anonymity. And for the people who are not in recovery, that I want to see this movie, our ministers, our police, our law enforcement, our teachers. I want every school counselor, I want every character counts person there, because I want them to see this side. I want them to see, I want them to be inspired to learn about the Whitsitt Center. I want them to be inspired to learn about the 12-step programs and other programs. So when someone comes into them that they're supposed to be helping and that person is broken, that they can say, wow, I have all this really pretty glittery glue and I can help put you back together, and it can be this really powerful, wonderful thing, and you don't have to whisper it anymore.